There's also, we're going to spend some time tomorrow doing some exercises. They'll be in here.
All of our kind of small group missional community leaders. We're taking an annual retreat this year, which we've never done before, which is super exciting. And so we're just here to rest and do some reflection and just some hanging out and like chill time, just to get away from LA a little bit. We're about an hour, hour and a half south of LA, between LA and San Diego. But of course we'll also have some time of prayer and some time of just training and equipping on how to better lead our missional communities, which are our church's form of a small group that isn't just kind of a Bible study. We also kind of have an outward service mission focus. But yeah, so it's great to catch up with a lot of the other leaders since we're all leading our own groups. We don't often get to hang out together, so I'm looking forward to that. Also, I'm sure the beach is going to be epic. I wish you guys could hear what it sounds like. I mean, you'll hear it in the video, of course, but like on our balcony, it's very much like the PCH in Malibu, where it's like this glass balcony and we're literally right up against the ocean. It's amazing. And so excited to spend some time on the beach, hang out with Jeff, hopefully getting some like reflection time, journaling time with Jesus, but also some planning and hopefully some vision casting for the channel and for the blog and all those things this year. So I wanted to give you guys a room tour of our boardwalk room. Here's our room. So we got a window there. I'm pretty sure that goes to the ocean, kind of out that way. This really nice painting. Nice big cozy bed, and we came into some little art and some cards from our pastors to read. It's really beautiful, kind of upholstered headboard, a little rowing oar up there, and then we have a little nightstand and dresser. It says life is better at the beach. Agreed. Just have this little full-length mirror. Hello. And some coat racks, and then over here we have some more artwork. Oh, it's seahorse. Mom, you would love this. You need this in the bathroom. I'll be sure to link the actual, if I can find it, or if I can find the information for it, I will link the actual place that we're renting. So it is 1:15 and I have not headed to bed quite yet. I am trying to do this thing when we travel more of kind of making our spaces feel a little more homey. I can tend to start to like panic and get homesick even when it doesn't make sense. Like I'm in this beautiful Airbnb in Oceanside with like all my best friends and a lot of my best friends from church. But I'm realizing as I get older that making my space comfortable is really key, especially in like a hotel or Airbnb type setting. I just spent the last like 15-20 minutes organizing our room and unpacking and putting things into the dresser. We're only here for the weekend, but I find this super therapeutic and super helpful. So I thought I would just kind of show you my routine and kind of what I do. I unpacked the bags from the bed and placed those in the corner there. I just have my pajamas out that I'm wearing. And then we have this really nice dresser, and I've just essentially organized the drawers in that. So on the top, I have our camera bag, and then my vlogging little case and tripod. And then in this top drawer, I've just placed my kind of scarves, underwear, socks, my tops, and my cardigan sweaters for the weekend. I just brought like a thick sweater, a long sleeve tee, a 3/4 length sleeve, kind of thinner knit top, a short sleeve tee, and another short sleeve tee, just because I don't know what the weather's like. I don't know where exactly we're going. So I just thought I'd bring some nice kind of pretty neutral layers. Same with these cardigans. And then I could jazz it up if I want to with a scarf, or put this on one of my bags as a sort of charm. And then in the second drawer here, I just have feminine products, my nail kit, since we'll probably do nails at some point, deodorant. This Kate Spade bag has a little bit of the jewelry I brought for this weekend. Face towel. I never know what the towel situation is going to be like, but I like to have a separate one for my face always. And then I brought my wet brush, Tangle Teaser, this thing's the best, and then my toiletry bag I'm just going to keep in here to stay organized. And then I'm wearing a pair of jeans, and then I brought another pair of kind of ripped jeans in case it's a bit warmer outside. And then my medicine back there. And then for Jeff, similarly, his cosmetic bag, or his toiletry bag, and then the teas that he brought. And and underwear and that sort of thing. And then I put his swimsuit, shorts, sweats, and socks in here. I was gonna actually put our bags in this bottom drawer to keep them out of the way, but there's a fan in there. So beach blanket, this is our drone bag, not really a spot for that right now. And then we just have, I hung up our coats, my kind of larger bag. This is actually looking a bit worn, but it's one of my favorite pieces. It's actually vintage. It was my Nana's. And yeah, I really love it. And I just brought one pair of sandals, one pair of little booties, and then I have my vintage Dooney and Bourke crossbody in case we kind of go out in the city. That might be easier. My little olive kind of cargo coat and my leopard scarf. Again, just kind of layering the earth tone neutrals for the weekend. And yeah. So yeah, if you're one of those people that kind of gets antsy when you travel, or if you just love to travel, I mean, this is really good, I think, for anyone anytime you go somewhere. Instead of living out of a suitcase or trying to ruffle around in a duffel bag all weekend, it's really helpful to just take everything out, hang it up, give it a place, put it in a drawer. It makes you feel more comfortable. It makes any space kind of feel more homey. And yeah, it's just like one of those kind of mental exercises that like just sort of makes me feel restful. So yeah, just thought I would show you my little routine there. I'm gonna try to get ready for bed and get some rest now. Jeff is still hanging out and playing cards with the guys upstairs, or some sort of game, assassin or something. I can hear them. It's hilarious. I'm so glad they're just getting some guy time though. We also brought our drone and our camera, like I mentioned, so hopefully we can get some really cool footage this weekend. I would really love to just kind of capture the essence of this retreat and rest in the seaside. We very rarely stay oceanfront. In fact, I don't think I've ever stayed on the ocean per se. If you didn't know this about me, the ocean is super important in my life, just kind of any open water in general. Since I grew up on Lake Erie, it's peaceful, it's calming. I feel like it just showcases the greatness and the beauty and the awesomeness of God in nature, which a lot of people experience in camping and in the mountains, but for me it's always near a body of water. Even if it's a river, going to college in Pittsburgh, for example, which I did, being near the rivers, like just being near a large body of water reminds me of the awesome, beautiful power of God in the world and in my life. And so I don't spend enough time at the beach, even though we live in LA, literally 3 miles from the beach. Just wanted to show you a little snippet of, yeah, how to take care of yourself when you're taking care of yourself. Morning! Ready for the day? It is Saturday. I had a chill morning, having breakfast on the balcony. It was absolutely beautiful. The view and the sounds of the ocean. It's like the world's biggest white noise machine. Yeah. Is it really like, well, that's what I think of when I hear that. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like, but it's real. Noise, but it's real ocean sounds. Yeah. Myrna, how's the water?
Amazing. I read in the hot tub this morning.
Oh my gosh. Did you go in the water at all? Did you go in the ocean at all?
No.
Oh, okay.
This afternoon.
This afternoon is for surfing. Yeah. And running, apparently. So we are headed upstairs now to have our first session. We got all the Bibles and journals, all the Bibles and journs. And oh, they're already praying.
That's what's powerful about the good news. That Jesus doesn't see us as saying, you're doing some good stuff, let me help you get to the finish line. He says, you can't get past the starting line. And I see you, and I know you, and you are a mess, and you are anxious, and you're tired, and you are a complete wreck, and I love you that way. From the start to the very finish. And that's what these commands mean. I think that's why whenever we were talking about this, we had that conversation about like these two verses are like all the verses we could ever preach and teach, because within them is this wonderful good news that while we did not love God, while we did not love our neighbor, God loved us so much that he sent his son to love God perfectly, to follow the Spirit perfectly, and to love us perfectly.
I'm just trying to make sure it's in focus. Saturday afternoon free time with this one. It looks like you were just tearing up. Like I was crying. So emotional. So we just went and checked out Revolution Roasters. It was very cute. And now we are heading back to the house. Everyone else is gonna get in the hot tub. We're opting out of hot tub. We're just not quite prepared.
Legs aren't shaved.
Legs aren't shaved that time of the month, you know. I was like, we don't have our summer ready hot tubness on. So we're just hanging out. Unfortunately, it's kind of been a gloomy day. And we were both talking earlier, we don't have any sort of sense of urgency to go to the beach or like to sit on the sand because we technically live here.
We live on the sand.
Like we live on the sand. Like we have beaches by our house. Like during our like devotional alone time, I was just like, I'm just gonna hang out in the warm bedroom because
We're very spoiled.
we're really spoiled and we technically can go to the beach anytime. But that was really good. And then we had some time sharing, which was cool. Oh, also we went to this, I forget what it's called now, like thrift store, antique thrift store for clothes, like vintage. It was actually kind of like true vintage clothes. That wasn't just like a Buffalo Exchange. And the prices were actually decent on a lot of the stuff, but it was, you know, actual kind of 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s clothes, so you don't know how it would fit. But they had some cute, cool stuff in there. I'm doing consignment only, or consignment mostly, I should call it. So I was like excited to maybe find something, but didn't find anything this time. Struck out. There's like a little town. I didn't film much of it. It wasn't a ton to film, but there were some cute coffee shops and restaurants and yoga studios. It's not coming that fast. But I'm surprised we haven't heard it yet though. Like it makes its horn sound. I grew up next to railroad tracks. We're like not far from railroad tracks. They kind of divided our town in half. So literally you would kind of like classify people like what side of the tracks they live
Like
on.
Lady Bird.
Literally.
Wrong side of the tracks.
It's the wrong side of the tracks. We actually had that. It was also a really good excuse if you were late to something like train. No, that got old really fast with like teachers and my dance instructor. So I will show you guys a glimpse of our street. We are literally on the ocean. Fun fact, our like Airbnb hosts were like, you cannot park on Pacific Avenue. You cannot park on the street. Did you see the sign in the kitchen? Like terrifying. And they put it in our info packets, all the stuff we couldn't park. We could totally park there. They called the city and the city said we can park there. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Why would you lie about something like that? So that was a little update on the day. Oh, also at Revolution Roasters, Sydney and I got vanilla rose lattes. Highly suggest. I was torn between that and the honey lavender, but I'm gonna definitely look for rose lattes more because I pretty much like rose in anything, so highly recommend if you're in Oceanside to check them out. It's actually kind of connected to the thrift store, which also had its own little coffee shop, so props to Oceanside for having cute coffee shops and really amazing beachfront property. So I'll show you guys the outside of our house. Oh my gosh, Jeff, you are so white. Good morning, it is Sunday. After we got back from the coffee shop yesterday, I didn't film a ton. Essentially, we just had some nice chill out time. We have these bags out where we're writing letters for everyone, so did some of that. Had dinner, and then we spent some more time having each missional community kind of share what's going on, where they're at. And then they all also share kind of personally what are some things going on in their lives. And then we kind of just split off into groups and we pray for those missional community small groups. That time has been so sweet. Just to know where people are at personally, what's going on with their missional community small group, getting to intentionally pray for certain things has been really cool. And Jeff was just like, are you okay? Because I'm running a little late to breakfast. Then we had a time of communion, which was really cool. We just all sat in a huge circle and passed the cup and the bread around and just kind of shared truths about God, just kind of shouting them out into the room, which is really cool. So I didn't film a lot of that stuff. One, I just kind of wanted to be there. Also, people are sharing personal things, they're being vulnerable, and you don't necessarily always want to like put a camera in their face. I always want to ask permission, but this is new for our church to have all the leaders together on a retreat, and so I also just kind of wanted to experience it. Which of course you guys know I do experience it through the lens, but because there's so many people sharing their hearts, you just want to be kind of sensitive to that and not film everything. We're all getting so much closer as a group though, and it's so cool to just get to know people better. Obviously we all are friends. Our church is still small enough, around 100 people, where we do know everyone, but just getting to hear like, what has the last 6 months been like? What's something on your heart? Changes with work, family, like you personally, things you're learning about your past, your childhood, things that you're processing through as a couple. Like, it's just so cool. I love all that just like deep heart stuff. It's like, if we're not sharing those things, to me, it's kind of like, what are we doing here? God put us here, calls us to love him, to love one another, and this is just a practical way we get to do that. And so after that, we just had a cocktail, had a little dance party, which was so fun. I'll insert a clip of that here. And then, yeah, we were just like, whew, feeling the burn, and decided to go on a nice beach walk at night. I went with Sarah and Marissa and Austin, just kind of all up and down the coast here at night. You see the stars a lot more clear here than you can in LA, and it was cloudy. It was just kind of this mystical, magical skyscape, and walking on the beach at night, it was dark, and oh, it's just so nice. Like, I'm trying to practice really just being present somewhere, not thinking the next thing, not worrying, just enjoying who I'm with and where I am, which I know sounds so cheesy, but it's true. Now we are gonna have some breakfast. Jeff and I are gonna share about RMC and where we're at, and then I think we're just gonna talk about some practical things for what's going on in our church next year. Oh my God, the Lowndes and their cameras are out of control.
Kind of unorganized but organized. If people even join our church thinking, I just really love that this is a small church or whatever, I don't really care. I think those things are really important because we get to, through a journey of being in our communities, and hopefully you've seen that in your time leading, is that not only are you equipped to lead, and follow Jesus into all of the everyday stuff of life, but you're seeing other people grow in that too.